Welcome to day 2 of our puppy dog trip. Here we are getting ready to hit the road, and we've already had breakfast, packed the tent, packed the bikes, and really just getting everything situated to actually get on the road when we had a unexpected visitor. And this is my new friend Rowley.
Hello.
Okay, buddy, hold on a second. It's okay. Come here, bud. Hi. Hi,
It's
buddy.
okay. It's okay. No, it's okay.
Oh, it's okay.
Come on. It's okay.
Yesterday.
It's okay.
Yeah, he doesn't
So I don't know that. I've never seen one of those. Not like my dad's hat. Did you all stay warm last night?
Yeah, we did.
Good.
Yeah.
We bought some new gear this year and
it helps.
bag and stuff and a sleeping mat that's insulated and fantastic.
Hi. Hello, sweetie. Hi. How are you? Yeah. I know there's a motorcycles. There's a motorcycles, yeah.
You don't know what to make of those.
You want to go over? Huh? Go over and see him. Come on, let's go. Let's go. No? You could probably curl up in your helmet. What kind of dog is he?
A chia pit. He's a third pit bull and 27% Chihuahua, and the rest of it is completely mixed from Labrador to the Chinese Shiba Inu.
Oh, well, there you go.
So,
Yep.
I mean, just a Heinz 57.
57, yep.
But who could pass up a chia pit?
Exactly.
We have 2 of those. One of ours is a part Great Dane, part Chow Chow, part Lab, part every different kind of hound dog they have in Tennessee.
Yep.
Look at that. You really like this guy. Uh-huh. You do. He does not do this with...
Everybody? No. Jim makes friends with the dogs that hanging out in front of the grocery store when people go shopping or something. He makes friends with dogs everywhere he goes. So.
They won't do this to anybody else. They do it
No.
to me.
Dog people.
Yep.
They know. Somehow they just
Yes,
know.
they do.
You probably smell my 2. Yeah, our other dog's part Lab, part Boxer, part nose.
Yeah.
My niece has one that is part lamb, part boxer, and she says that dog is just nuts.
Yeah.
Ours
Yeah.
is pretty nuts. He has no regard for his own physical well-being.
Yeah.
Yeah,
No.
that's what she said.
Not at all. Is he very attached though, like to people? He has to know your lady you were just talking about that has the boxer and the lab. Does her dog like really have to be with her all the time? And
She hasn't mentioned that.
No.
So I don't
Ours
know.
is very attached.
Very
He has
attached.
to be with me all the time.
Yep.
You haven't figured out how to get him on the bike yet?
Not yet. Need a sidecar.
Be curious to see how he's doing. He's staying with our neighbors. He loves them, but
Yeah,
and
but they're not you.
Right.
exactly.
And he's never been away from us since we've had him. So this is his first time away from
One
home.
time we were in Vegas. He was with your dad.
He was with my parents. Yeah.
He loves your dad too.
Yeah. So that was good, but not this time.
Hey, buddy.
I'm working on a way, because we enjoy kayaking,
Yep.
and I'm working on a way that with all of his energy, he'll be able to deal with being on the kayak.
We struggled with that too.
Yep.
So I don't know if that'll work or not, but we'll find out.
As he gets older, it might.
Yeah.
Our youngest has jumped out several times,
Yeah.
and he swims along next to me.
We have
And-
to put him in life jacket.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I want one just with a little
Handle on
back,
it,
and I
yep.
just put him right up on top.
Geez, we have one that will fit too.
Yeah, we probably do, from when he was a puppy. Yeah.
Yeah. We yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
Perfect.
But yeah, that's what we do, and our kayaks are stable enough that we can pull him right back on if we need to, and it's not a problem.
All right, Raleigh, you ready?
We gotta go. Bye bye.
Ready, Raleigh?
Okay, buddy.
Bye bye. Bye bye.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll be back Monday.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, great.
we're heading up towards into Vermont, up towards Canada, and then come back around, and I'll stay back here, and then head back home. Long adventure.
Good job. I won't be jealous. Okay, Raleigh, come on. Let's go.
All right, bye bye.
Let's check out the water.
That's what you needed this morning.
What's that?
That's what you needed this morning.
Good little boy. Now that we've had a little bit of dog time, we can get on the road and start heading towards Vermont. One thing I should probably mention, if you listen to the gentleman who owned the dog, he asked if we had stayed warm overnight. And that was because the temperature got into the high 40s. It was pretty cool overnight. And we actually did pretty well. So one of the things prior to this trip, we were concerned with the gear that we had. So we had a couple of really thin mats for sleeping on. And then we had a couple of ultralight sleeping bags that pack real small, but they're really meant for summer camping. And we figured this time of the year, those might be a problem. So we bought some new equipment. One of the things we bought was a Xped SynMat Duo two-person mat, and we bought the long wide version. And it has it's insulated, so it has an R value rating, and that thing works great. We didn't feel any cold through the mat, and for something that's about 3 inches thick, I was super impressed with how comfortable it is. It's actually more comfortable than the thicker mat that we normally take camping with us. It's really, really a good product. And then for a sleeping bag, we bought a Big Agnes Cabin Creek, which is rated to go down to 15 degrees Fahrenheit. And it's a two-person, so it's a double sleeping bag. And I guess its extreme temperature rating is 9 degrees Fahrenheit. You know, that's the point where you start potentially getting hypothermia or whatever. And we were toasty warm all night long. No issues with that at all. High 40s isn't too big a deal, but with the equipment that we would have normally have brought on the motorcycles, it would have been a problem. We have other equipment, like a big, giant Cabela's, super thick. It's like I think a 0 degree Fahrenheit rated double bag, but it's massive, and there's no way we could have packed that. So getting the stuff that we did was really, really worth it. And like I said, super impressed with the performance of both, and highly recommend them if anybody's looking for some new, couples type of equipment. They both get a thumbs up from me.
storms to get to where you are. 'Cause it's you, babe. It's you I'm looking for. Miles and miles to go. Miles and miles to go. I'm just traveling home with miles to go. Till I get to you, till I get to you, till I get to you, till I get to you. I'm trying.
So I thought I'd talk a little bit about the riding and what we've been seeing along the way. The vast majority of our riding's been on mainly maintained dirt roads, which is exactly what we were looking for. We didn't want anything too technical for this trip. And yeah, these maintained dirt roads are just, they're wonderful. And seeing a lot of farms, a lot of country homes, and covered bridges, rivers, ponds, things like that. Absolutely beautiful scenery to ride through. We couldn't ask for better, really. And we're really, really, really enjoying our trip so far. So after a whole lot of dirt miles and a little bit of street miles too, we decided it was time to have some lunch. So we stopped in Putney, Vermont, and stopped here at the Putney Diner, which actually turned out to be a pretty good place to stop for lunch. You know, typical diner food. So I had meatloaf with mashed potatoes, and she had a burger and fries, and everything was good. Food was really, really good. Once we were done with lunch, Jen decided she needed a little caffeine boost, so we were kind of on a mission to find some espresso, which is the type of coffee she likes to drink. Unfortunately, they did not serve it at the diner, so we needed to go find some. And we started with the general store across the way, which didn't have any. And then ended up at another store called the Co-op, which is kind of a grocery store slash deli, a lot of different things. And they happened to have that, so she was able to get what she was looking for. And that was good. One observation that we both kind of had about Putney that I thought I'd just mention, it was kind of a weird vibe there. We didn't feel particularly welcome in Putney. Not at the diner per se. I think the diner was good, but in the general store and in the Co-op, we both kind of felt like just people were not giving us very welcoming looks. And maybe it's because of the gear we were wearing. Definitely looked like we were not from there. But what makes it stranger is the vast majority of license plates that I observed in the area were from New York or Connecticut, which makes me think that most of the people there are probably in vacation homes or such, so they're not from there either. But they we didn't get a very welcoming vibe from this town. And maybe it's just a feeling we got. I can't say if that's the way the town is or not, but that's just how we felt about it. And it's not given that experience, it's maybe not a place I'd want to spend much time personally. Once we got fed and got caffeine, we hit the road again and got back on the route where we originally left it, which unfortunately didn't last us very long. So this Puppydog is something I downloaded off the internet. It's put together by the BMW Motorcycle Owners Club of Vermont. And the GPX file that I downloaded from them, it took us on to somebody's private property, or at least what would have appeared to be somebody's private property. Now, Garmin also thought that this was a valid road because it didn't try to route us around it on our GPSs or in Basecamp when I was doing the route planning at home. And it took us this way, and all of a sudden we felt like we were on somebody else's land, and somebody's private land. And we didn't want to interfere with somebody's private land. So we decided it was best to just turn around and try to detour around it, which we did eventually. The GPSs both freaked out a little bit, but we were able to get around it and kind of get back going in the right direction, and headed towards our final destination, which is our second day campsite. So unfortunately, I don't have a whole lot more footage after Putney. We had put fresh batteries in right after lunch, and they died. They weren't fully charged, apparently, and they died probably about 20 minutes in, and that was it for the rest of the day as far as cameras went. It's just this idiot and a couple of GoPros, so, this is what you get. There's no professional film crew here. So we ended up figuring out that we probably planned a little bit more than we should have for day 2. We had about 180 miles scheduled for the day, which at the pace that we were traveling at was too much. We ended up having to cut the route out and take some detours just to make up some time. We weren't traveling at the pace that we were expected to, so it just took us longer than we expected to get there. We wanted to be to our campsite right around 4:30, 5 o'clock, so we would have plenty of time to get set up and get our tent put up and get everything set up and ready, and then have something to eat and not be doing all that in the dark. And by changing our route, we're able to do that. Now, our next campsite we found on a website called hipcamp.com. Basically, it's kind of like if you've ever heard of harvest hosts for RVs, where farms and breweries and other places, they allow you to park your RV on their site for a night. This is similar to that, and people that have land that they can have people have tents on and camp out for a day or two, this is where they do it. So it's kind of like Airbnb for camping. You just kind of find a place you want to camp and send the person a note, pay them the fee that they're looking for, and then go there and camp. So we ended up camping on this farm called Mountain Home Farm in Tunbridge, Vermont. And the campsite is absolutely fantastic. It's way up on a hill, away from everything. And the owner has this clearing, and he has a few spots for tent sites, and we had the entire thing to ourselves. He has outhouses built, a fire pit. It was a really nice setup. More primitive camping like what we're used to, and we really liked it. It's a really nice site. And on a couple of pictures that I put up here, you'll notice the views that we had. Unfortunately, it was overcast. These pictures do not do this place justice. We had a view of the Killington Mountain, and what a nice campsite. We loved it. Very, very quiet. We didn't see obviously didn't see anybody once our host kind of left us. We to do our own thing. That was it until we left in the morning, and we really liked this place a lot. For dinner, we had another freeze-dried meal, because that's really all we could carry on the bikes. And this time it was beef stroganoff. And as you can see, it looks as appetizing as it sounds. When it doesn't hydrate good and it's crunchy, not so delicious. We also had dessert tonight too. So tonight we had this chocolate cheesecake mix that it's more like chocolate pudding, but this one's actually pretty good too. I like the apple crisp better. She liked the chocolate cheesecake better, but pretty good. Dessert once again was way better than dinner. And once again we lit a fire for a little while, and then the rain came, and we kind of decided it was about 7 o'clock or so. It was time to get in the tent, even though it wasn't dark. The rain was coming, and it didn't rain much, but it did rain off and on for the rest of the night. But we got a really good night's sleep here, and it was very quiet, very peaceful, and got ready to go for day 3.